If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. Shedeur Sanders, son of the legendary Deion Sanders, is officially set to start the Cleveland Browns' first preseason game of 2025, and the buzz around the NFL is real. According to insider Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com, Sanders will take the opening snaps when the Browns face the Carolina Panthers this Friday in what has suddenly become one of the most anticipated preseason debuts of the year. This unexpected opportunity comes amid injuries to both Kenny Pickett and rookie Dillon Gabriel, who were previously expected to share reps in the early preseason stretch, with Deshaun Watson still recovering and Joe Flacco unlikely to suit up. At 40 years old for the first of 3 tune-ups, the rookie from Colorado finds himself thrust into the spotlight. Just days ago, he was sitting at QB4 on the team's depth chart. Now, all eyes will be on him as he leads the Browns offense onto the field, a moment that could dramatically alter the trajectory of his rookie campaign. For Shedeur Sanders, this is more than just a start. It's a statement opportunity. Taken in the 5th round of the 2025 NFL Draft, Sanders was once touted as a possible day 1 or day 2 selection, thanks to a stellar final college season that turned heads across the country. At Colorado, he posted mind-blowing numbers: 4,134 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, and a nation-leading 74% completion rate. Those stats don't just happen. They're earned through relentless film study, hours on the practice field, and an elite football IQ. Despite those credentials, Sanders slid deep into the draft, with many speculating that off-field dynamics or team fit may have influenced his fall. But none of that matters now. The NFL is a league of opportunity, and with Pickett and Gabriel sidelined, Shedeur's moment has arrived. The kid who was 4th on the depth chart just days ago is now the face of the Browns' opening act. Cleveland's quarterback situation has been nothing short of chaotic in recent years, and 2025 looks to be no different. The franchise's decision to rebuild its quarterback room began with the surprise signing of veteran Joe Flacco, followed by a trade for Kenny Pickett. Then came the draft, and with it the selections of 2 rookie QBs in Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. At first glance, it seemed like Sanders might end up redshirting his rookie year, learning behind older, more experienced passers. But football doesn't follow scripts. Injuries are part of the game, and now he's got a chance to showcase why Cleveland took a chance on him in the first place. For Sanders, it's not about depth chart politics or waiting his turn. It's about stepping onto that field in Charlotte and playing like a guy who belongs. If he plays well, the Browns quarterback conversation could take a dramatic shift permanently. When news broke that Sanders would get the start, fans instantly took to social media, with reactions ranging from shock to pure excitement. After all, Shedeur is no stranger to the spotlight. From high school phenom to college star, and now to the NFL stage, his journey has always been under the microscope, especially with a last name like Sanders. But what sets Shedeur apart isn't just the name, it's the poise, the calm, the ability to stay within the offense and make smart, high-percentage throws while reading defenses like a seasoned vet. Those traits were on full display at Colorado, especially during comeback wins and pressure-packed moments. And now, Browns. Fans are hoping to see that same spark, or that same leadership, translate into a strong preseason performance. This is his first real chance to show what he can do with NFL talent surrounding him, and every snap he takes on Friday will be dissected in film rooms, media segments, and locker room meetings across the league. The Browns coaching staff, led by head coach Kevin Stefanski, knows exactly what's at stake in giving Sanders this opportunity. It's not just about evaluating a rookie quarterback. It's about discovering whether you might have found a diamond in the rough. Someone who can not only compete, but potentially become a future starter in Cleveland. Stefanski has remained tight-lipped about long-term plans, insisting that Friday is about execution and development, not depth chart declarations. But there's no denying the intrigue. If Shedeur delivers a strong, efficient performance, say 2 touchdown drives, no turnovers, and consistent decision-making, it might be impossible to keep him buried on the bench. The Browns invested in experience and youth alike this offseason, and they're clearly keeping all doors open at the most important position in football. What Sanders does with this door cracked open could determine whether he becomes a backup, a future starter, or something even bigger. Interestingly, this start nearly didn't happen. Just last week, Sanders was listed as day-to-day after missing throwing drills due to arm soreness. It was a concerning moment for Browns fans hoping to get a look at their rookie investment, especially after such a dramatic draft day fall. But by Monday, Sanders was back on the practice field and throwing at full strength, even getting reps with the first team during walkthroughs. That quick turnaround showed not only physical recovery but mental toughness, a key trait Stefanski and GM Andrew Berry have praised in recent interviews. As Wednesday's practice looms, expectations are that Sanders will take the majority of the starter reps, preparing him to face Carolina's defensive starters and second string. This isn't mop-up duty, it's a test, and it's the kind of test that can build a quarterback's confidence or shake it to the core. The Browns believe Sanders is ready. Now it's up to him to prove they're right. Draft day was a roller coaster for Shedeur Sanders. At one point, it seemed almost certain that he would go early, maybe even late in the first round, as scouts raved about his mechanics, football IQ, and intangibles. But pick after pick went by, and Sanders remained undrafted, his name absent from the highlights until finally being called by the Browns in the 5th round. It was a shock, especially for someone who had drawn comparisons to established NFL quarterbacks in pre-draft evaluations. Some pundits called the fall disrespectful. Others said it was motivational fuel. For Sanders, it seems to be both. Ever since draft weekend, he's spoken publicly about using the experience as motivation to prove everyone wrong. Now, he's not just another backup. He's a rookie with something to prove, stepping into the arena with a chip on his shoulder, and an opportunity few 5th rounders ever received this early in their career. That chip might be exactly what Cleveland needs. When Browns owner Jimmy Haslam was asked about the selection of Shedeur Sanders, his response was surprisingly candid. Haslam admitted that Sanders wasn't initially part of his expected draft or the plan. If you just told me Friday night driving home, y'all are gonna pick Shedeur, I would say, that's not happening, Haslam told reporters. But as the day unfolded and conversations took place, it was clear that GM Andrew Berry had a different vision. Berry saw something others missed, a value pick, a potential starter, maybe even a future face of the franchise. And in Berry's system, the general manager makes the draft calls, Stefanski calls the plays, Haslam stays out of the football decisions. That kind of clear chain of command has become a staple in Cleveland's front office culture, and now it may pay dividends. If Sanders shines, that draft day gamble suddenly looks like one of the smartest moves of 2025. The Browns fan base has been desperate for a young quarterback to believe in, someone homegrown, charismatic, and capable of leading this team through the trials of the AFC North. Sanders, if he performs well, could be that guy. His story already has the makings of a classic underdog arc. A college star overlooked on draft day, thrust into a preseason spotlight with a chance to steal the show. It's everything fans love. Drama, redemption, and upside. But let's be clear, this isn't just about hype. Shedeur will need to back it all up on the field. Carolina's defense may not throw exotic blitzes in preseason, but they'll be physical, and they'll test his timing, accuracy, and command of the huddle. Every audible he calls, every third down throw, every red zone read, it's all part of the evaluation. And for Shedeur, it's more than evaluation. It's audition for the staff, for the fans, for the league, for himself. As kickoff approaches, one thing is certain. Shedeur Sanders will have the full attention of Cleveland, the NFL world, and likely a national TV audience eager to see how he handles this massive moment. The preseason might not count in the standings, but don't tell. That's to the rookies fighting for a spot or the coaches looking for answers. For Sanders, this is his first real NFL experience, the first time he'll feel that game day adrenaline in a professional uniform, the first time he'll lead a huddle under bright lights with coaches and fans hanging on every snap. How he responds will help shape the narrative of his rookie season and perhaps his NFL future. Will he rise to the occasion and force a rethinking of the Browns' quarterback pecking order? Or will he show he's still a work in progress, not quite ready for the big time? Either way, Friday night isn't just a preseason game, it's the beginning of something real. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. In what could go down as one of the most shocking shakeups in recent NFL memory, word on the street is that the Cleveland Browns may be on the verge of pulling off a blockbuster quarterback trade. And we're not talking about any average QB carousel. According to league insiders and whispers around several NFL facilities, the Browns are rumored to be in deep, and I mean deep, discussions surrounding a stunning trade involving not one, but two of the league's most dynamic quarterbacks. Jayden Daniels, the electric rookie sensation from the Washington Commanders, and none other than the face of the NFL himself, Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. While no official announcement has been made and representatives for each team remain tight-lipped, several signs point to smoke. And where there's smoke, there's usually fire. This isn't just a rumor. This could be franchise-altering. History in the making. What's fueling the fire is a chain reaction of events that started brewing quietly right after the 2025 NFL Draft. Cleveland's front office, led by GM Andrew Berry, has reportedly grown impatient with the inconsistent performances under center over the past few seasons. Despite building a solid defensive unit and an explosive running game, the Browns have struggled to find that one true leader at quarterback. Meanwhile, insiders suggest there's been ongoing dialogue between the Browns and the Chiefs regarding Mahomes, who, despite his elite status, has reportedly been involved in some behind-the-scenes tension with Kansas City's new offensive coordinator. Add to that the recent emergence of backup QB Shane Buechele during minicamps, and you start to see the pieces moving behind the curtain. And then out of nowhere, Jayden Daniels' name starts being whispered in the same breath. It's the kind of crazy NFL alchemy that could only happen when desperation meets opportunity. Now, let's talk about Jayden Daniels. The 2023 Heisman winner has already turned heads in his brief NFL tenure. Drafted by the Commanders with sky-high expectations, Daniels has shown flashes of brilliance, combining elite mobility with a smooth, accurate, deep ball. But with Washington's coaching staff under pressure to win now, and the team reportedly exploring multiple win-now veteran options, the idea of flipping Daniels while his value is soaring could be tempting. Cleveland, armed with a war chest of draft picks and some tradable assets on defense, could be preparing to swing big, maybe even combining picks with a veteran player to land Daniels. The Browns have always played in the shadows of bigger market teams, but this potential move would immediately catapult them into national relevance. If they land Daniels, it's not just about a new quarterback, it's a full-on culture reset in their land. And then there's Mahomes. This is where things get wild, and we're talking about a two-time MVP, multiple-time Super Bowl champ, and arguably the best quarterback in the NFL today. So why on earth would Kansas City even consider moving him? The answer may lie in timing and transition. After years of Super Bowl contention, the Chiefs might be looking at the long game. There have been murmurs, nothing concrete of course, that Mahomes, now in his 10th season, has been seeking more input in personnel decisions and offensive game plans. Sources say not all of those discussions have gone smoothly. Is this LeBron-like influence something the Chiefs want to embrace, or are they ready to pivot toward a more system-driven, cost-effective future? If a team like Cleveland comes knocking with a haul that includes Jayden Daniels, future first-rounders, and defensive blue-chippers, do you at least listen? It's unthinkable until it's not. Let's be clear, nothing official has been confirmed. Now, but let's not pretend NFL mega trades don't happen under similar what-if circumstances. In fact, think about the shockwaves when Tom Brady left the Patriots, or when Russell Wilson was shipped out of Seattle. At the time, those also felt surreal. Right now, Browns fans are buzzing online, and Reddit threads are lighting up with trade packages, speculation, and jersey swaps. The concept of seeing Patrick Mahomes in an orange and brown uniform is almost comedic, yet somehow it's starting to feel plausible. Cleveland sports radio is filled with callers fantasizing about Mahomes launching bombs downfield to Amari Cooper and David Njoku, or Daniels electrifying the Dawg Pound with his dual threat magic. Either way, whether it's the young gun or the proven superstar, it feels like the Browns are preparing to change the course of their franchise forever. And don't underestimate the business side of this equation. The NFL, like any major sports league, is driven by headlines, viewership, and big-time storylines. A trade of this magnitude would absolutely dominate media cycles for weeks. Cleveland, long considered a small market team, would become the epicenter of the football universe overnight. Think of the jersey sales. Think of the primetime games. Think of the Super Bowl odds. Vegas sports books would go into meltdown. The Mahomes trade alone would reshape the AFC landscape, while a Daniels deal could signal the Browns' commitment to building a long-term contender. It's not just a football decision. It's a branding play, a financial bombshell, and a PR goldmine. And with the season looming just weeks away, there's no better time for a team to seize momentum and rewrite its identity before kickoff. Now imagine the ripple effects across the league. If Mahomes is on the move, what happens to Kansas City's offensive system? Do they pivot to a more conservative ball control style? Do they draft another quarterback? Or maybe they even try to flip Daniels again in a 3-team deal. If Daniels goes to Cleveland, does that mean Deshaun Watson is officially out of the picture? Where does he land? There are so many dominoes that could fall from just one move, and the potential combinations are mind-bending. This isn't just about two quarterbacks. This is about the reshuffling of quarterback hierarchies across the NFL. Suddenly, teams like the Patriots, Raiders, and Seahawks could get dragged into the QB chaos, either as trade partners or opportunistic scavengers. The entire league could be looking at a seismic recalibration of power depending on which version of this deal gets inked. One major angle people aren't talking about enough is coaching. Kevin Stefanski has quietly built a reputation as one of the league's more adaptive offensive minds, but he hasn't had that guy at quarterback since taking over. If given a weapon like Daniels or Mahomes, Stefanski's entire playbook opens up. We're talking about next-level schematics, RPOs, vertical shots, spread packages, all designed to maximize elite QB talent. Imagine Stefanski running designed read options with Daniels or crafting hybrid West Coast bombs with Mahomes. On the other side, if Mahomes were to leave Kansas City, Andy Reid might be looking at retirement sooner than expected, or perhaps engineering one last grand experiment. Either way, the coaching ramifications of this trade would be just as monumental as the player movement. The X's and O's are going to change, and the NFL's chessboard will never look the same again. The timing of all this also can't be ignored. With training camp heating up and preseason games just around the corner, there's a real sense that if something's going to happen, it needs to happen now. Teams don't want to throw a new quarterback into the mix late in the process, especially with complex playbooks to learn and chemistry to build. So if these discussions are truly happening behind the scenes, are more than a few league insiders believe they are, expect the next 2 weeks to be critical. If no trade is announced by then, maybe this all fades into off-season fantasy. But if even a whiff of confirmation leaks out, we could be looking at one of the fastest and most dramatic trade executions in recent history. Keep an eye on social media, keep those notification bells on, and don't blink. Because when this kind of deal drops, it drops fast and hard, and the NFL will never be the same. At the end of the day, maybe it's all just talk. Maybe it's another off-season mirage. But maybe, just maybe, Cleveland has finally decided that enough is enough. Maybe they're tired of being the punchline. Maybe they're done waiting around for a miracle. Whether it's the future with Jaden Daniels or a surreal new era with Patrick Mahomes, the message is clear. The Browns want more wins, more relevance, more power. And in today's NFL, that starts and ends with the quarterback position. One trade, two names, and an avalanche of possibility. The Dawg Pound is howling louder than ever, and if these rumors are even half true, we're about to witness one of the boldest moves in football history. Don't say we didn't warn you. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!